Stupid girl. I hate you.
If you would have clicked 2 seconds earlier, you think,
Who
hey
on the
man,
wait? Who on the sweet potato? Sweet potatoes.
I, Look, I got some sweet potatoes cooking. Tyler, check the sweet potatoes.
What? Do people really say stuff like that? Like, how
Yeah.
long they supposed to cook, Joe Keisha? How long?
Well, until they're really soft. He needs
Hmm.
to check them to make sure they're soft. So check the sweet potatoes. You checking them?
I'm
Okay,
impressed
sorry.
that you cooking, and you get cool points from me just because you cooking.
Yeah, that
Uh,
really is something that's like it's not done too often.
Oh
it's a
yes,
lost art.
I
It's a
grew up
lost
where
art.
I grew up where we cook. So I'm teaching my sons. I've taught my sons and daughter how to cook. So we know how to cook. It's
But
nothing beats a home cooked meal.
but let me tell you though,
Hey, pumpkin.
my mother told me this in the 80s. She said, "I'm going to teach y'all how to cook now because these ladies coming up don't know how to cook." Now, she said that in the 80s. Now, how does she know that? I know we're gonna talk about some baby boomers tonight or whatever case it be, but now how my mama know that your peers aren't gonna cook no more, Joe Keisha? How my mama know that?
I don't know. Maybe we need to find out
And
from
guess
some
what? And
baby
she was a
boomers.
home ec teacher,
Oh well, that's how she knew.
so she was like, "Go ahead, go ahead."
She was definitely ahead of the game. She saw what was coming up. But there, I will say, because most of my friends, we know how to cook and we realize how important it is to cook. So we have taught our kids how to cook. I do think that there is a gap because there are a large number, and because you have the Cardi B song that talks about she don't cook, she don't clean,
Come
and
on,
there are some men that are
but she
accepting of
got this
that.
ring. But she got this ring. You got to add
But
that
she
part
got
in there
this
because
ring, yeah. But
they
there
feel
are
like they.
some, but you too, you men, you can say if you accept it or not, because obviously there are some women that don't cook or clean and that are getting married versus some of us, who are not married, who cook, clean, run a household, do a whole lot of stuff, and can be submissive.
Mhm.
So is cooking something that you require from a female?
We no longer, Mike. I'm different. I don't know, Mike. Mike. I'm sorry.
Require that. I suggest it. I imply it. I I will pay it forward. I'll even buy the groceries. That's a big,
Well,
big, big
buying the groceries,
thing for me.
yes, for buying the groceries because
Yeah, yeah, that's a big thing for me. I will cook also, but I definitely that is on my list when I look for a mate or companion. She should be able to cook something. Cardi B is young and her husband is young, so they eating out all the time because they're rich. But we weren't always like that. Like you said, Elon, we grew up in the '80s, and your mama said, "Hey, I'm gonna teach you how to do this because these women don't do this."
I don't know
They
how
are
she knew
definitely,
that. I don't know how she
yeah.
knew that, but see, that's why Jokitra looking away and stuff like that. Oh, you with us now, Jokitra? You with us? Okay.
excuse me, I can
Yeah.
multitask because I heard you saying about your mom, but I also want to make a valid point too. Back then, you know, um, we didn't have, or they didn't have the finances that we have now. Their schedules were not as busy as they are now. Right now, it really takes two to raise the family to bring in an income. Back then, my mom didn't work, so she worked, but she didn't work like I work, or some of the other independent ladies might work. So that could have been a reason why too. We grew things. We learned how to shop, because that's another thing too. If you go to the grocery store, and since I work at the grocery store, I see it. You'll see young ladies. They don't pay attention to prices. They don't try to price, shop. They don't bring in coupons.
Really?
They don't really look at that, because a lot of people, especially the young ladies that might get EBT, they going for the splurge. They just pick stuff up. And that's
Hmm.
one of the things that when I was raising my kids, we would go to the grocery store, we would compare. I wouldn't be like, don't just always look at the name brand, just to grab it. Look at what's in it, the ingredients.
But okay, so you're basically saying that because y'all started working, then that, and I could understand that because before, maybe Big Mama wasn't working, right? So then, you started working, so the cooking less, which is where the whole that I heard the whole fast food thing kind of exploded a little bit in like the 70s and the 60s or whatever. Because more in the 70s and 80s, those instant dinners and all that started picking up around that time because you were moving more in towards the workforce. So you are no longer that what's the best way to put this? I don't see that as a requirement anymore. I like to cook, so it's not a requirement for me. And so a man's way is through his stomach. No, that's not true. Okay, no, that's not true. For me,
some men, but
right? For some men it is exactly. Yeah. But I think that it's more phasing out because more of your peers don't than do, in my opinion. Now I don't have any stats on it. I'm just saying that I find more saying I don't want to cook. I want to eat out. I want to because I got job and all that other stuff.
Well, I'll tell you this. I can give you a prime example. I know my ex-husband, one of the things that he said that he appreciated with me when I was living in Houston, he was living in Tallahassee. Every time he traveled to see me, I always had a home cooked meal for him. Mm-hmm. He told me when he would go and visit, ladies in Atlanta, he used to hate how every time that he got there, the first thing they would say is, "Where are we going out to eat?"
Oh, wow. Oh, the progressive Black woman here in Atlanta does not want. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm not trying to.
Based upon that example.
I'm just saying that's where he was journeying to. It has nothing to do with, Atlanta. I'm not trying to talk about Atlanta because I have girlfriends in Atlanta that cook. Home cooked meals. So it has nothing to do with that. But he just said that he appreciated the fact that every time he would travel to come visit me, I always had a home cooked meal versus when he would travel to go visit other ladies, they always wanted to go out. So he said that was something that stood out for him was because I was considerate of the fact that he was traveling to see me. So I wanted to make sure he had a home cooked meal versus they wanted to go out. So every time someone comes to visit me, I do make sure that I have a home cooked meal for them versus us going out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Elam, I'm on my phone, but can you read the question here, Byron?
The question there is that were Big Mama and Daddy really happy doing all those things? That's what Felicia Robertson said. Were Big Mama and Daddy happy?
I don't think so.
You don't think they were happy?
I'm going to say no. Okay. And the reason why I'm going to say no, and before we I'm going to say no because that's why retirement was something that was so important. So we can hurry up and get out of the game because what he was doing from a 9-to-5 perspective, 9 times out of 10, it was not his purpose. He's just trying to survive, take care of the kids. This is baby boomer era. Everybody got like 10 kids. You know what I'm saying? You just got to.
They were screwing a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was a lot of sex going on. You didn't have that conversation back then. But it's a space to whereas, and then Big Mama's at the home. But I'm going to say this, even though with respect to, on average, all of our grandmothers that were inside of that space, I don't think that God's purpose and their talent that they really had was be home with the kids. So they didn't get a chance to tap into that, which Joe Keetra saw. And then Joe Keetra said, well, food and all that and cook that, figure out that, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to go out here and take this candle that's burning in me and go out here and rock out. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you're right now the biggest demographic with college degrees and all that good stuff. So,
but I still believe in cooking. I mean, when I was married, you definitely cook. Now I still want my kids to have a home cooked meal. So cooking is something, even when my ex-husband and I had a restaurant, he used to tell me, you're going to make us lose money because there were some women that would come in there 3 times a day. And I would say to them, do you ever give your kids a home cooked meal? That's important, for them to have a home cooked meal. So I believe in a home cooked meal. And I think that we do need more women cooking, but you're right. We do have a lot of males that know how to cook. I love when I meet a male and he knows how to cook because if I'm sick, somebody got to carry the household.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's great, Joe Keetra, that you cook. And like I said, I try to date women who cook. I cook a little bit. It's a balance with me, Elam. It's not mandatory, but definitely I'm looking at if you cook a little, so can you burn a hot dog or something like that? But welcome again, folks.
Hot dog burger.
That was just at the top of the conversation. Oh, that was crazy, wasn't it? They chopping up hot dogs now in a circle and putting a toothpick in them and making hamburgers. You put it on a hamburger bun. It's in a circle now. Yes, the difference there. Yeah,
Yes.
it's something special. Hey, we're going to get right into it. Welcome to, of course, the Help Me Understand podcast. Elam B. King, our resident author and guru of love. Kevin Samuels, number 2 is what I call him. Joe Keitra Horn, the pride of Pensacola, Florida. Definitely our resident vlogger and travel enthusiast. That young lady knows where to go.
Joe Keitra, you look amazing this evening. I want to start off by saying that because I don't know how this is going to end, but I always like to start off by saying the hat, the outfit, the fluffies. You're giving me
Thank
all
you.
you're giving me all the feels right now. So you got that.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Elam came in peace, and Joe Keitra is receiving it.
He wasn't
But that's
at
how
peace
we
before
started.
this started. So thank you,
That,
Elam.
you do look very nice, Joe Keitra. I'm sorry, I need to second my brother's observation. You look very nice. Your teeth are all white. That is nice. Yeah, you are on it. Okay, the
Thank
hat
you.
He's
is
on it.
amazing. Yeah, you're on it. Elam, if you will. Elam, if you will. Sorry, I'm calling you Elam. Elam, if you will. My bad, bro. It's one of them nights. If you will, go into something that you brought to our attention. There was an article about baby boomers. Please elaborate.
Well, first,
Okay.
you didn't introduce yourself, Tight Mike, did you?
Well, hey, man, if you don't know me, you're in the wrong podcast, baby. It's the one and only. They can't clone me. Tight Mike, the original. You know what I'm saying? They can't duplicate me, baby. You know what I'm saying? Sweet D from Tallahassee. You know,
Nah,
Wait. What'd you say?
I was
love
a
it.
pimp in my former life. Sweet D from Tallahassee, the pride of the South Side. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, comedian extraordinaire, as well as television host, as well as recently single as of 3 years ago, divorcee, and father of 2. And I'm in search of love this summer,
That was a
just for
nice
3 months.
commercial on
Yeah,
yourself.
Yeah, that was good. That was
just for
good.
And
That
three
we're
was
months.
missing. Who are we missing?
We are
good.
definitely missing the one and only from
Oh,
the pride of Mobile, Alabama. She'll be on in a little bit. We pray and hope.
oh.
Shima Franklin. Hey, Punkin, how you doing? Hey, man, it's
I'm
entertainment
talking,
and
and I
experience.
really wanted her to be on this one right here.
Yeah,
But
well,
you know what?
last week you kept talking about sending $3 to her fund. So
So it's the $6 this week. So it's gonna keep Annie up. I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to cut you off. I think Joe
No,
Keecha
you
would
good.
be on my side with this one. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I mean,
go right ahead. Explain to us the baby boomer article so that everybody catches up and then we can all comment intelligently.
so the article, excuse me, is actually inside of Instagram, and so it was a young lady was out at some type of establishment, retail store, and so Joe you would you would
I'm
okay,
listening.
Joe Keetra, what happened is that the lady caught this elderly couple that was outside, right? And so the couple
Mhm.
then began to, I guess she was interviewing the guy, whatever. And so she said to him, hey, found this nice couple, blah blah. And so he came back and he went into his spiel of, he's been married 60 years to her. Fantastic, you know what I'm saying? I think that that's absolutely amazing. Um, and then he went in to say that they were dating 10 years before that, so that was 70 years. And then he said in that time frame he had never argued with her
Mm.
in 70 years. That is
Wow.
25,550 days. Okay, we won't even go with the hours, but I'm gonna do that math while we sitting here too. Okay, so 25,550 times
Lord have mercy.
times how it's 400
Okay, at
1,440
any rate,
1440. So 36 million 36 million minutes with somebody, and you've never argued. Okay, and we had the nice music playing in the background and all that, and it sounds good, right? I'm
Right.
gonna call this out and say I'm not listen, was I in their life, all that stuff. You're
no.
saying no, I was not in their life. I was not. But based upon everybody else that I know, okay,
Right.
I don't know 36 days for people, let alone 36 million 36
minutes.
million minutes with this person, and you've never argued. I just want to throw this out and just be quiet. I think that there's a space to whereas, although I respect and love the loyalty, the spirituality, a lot of the wisdom that our baby boomers have set before us, I think that when it comes into the space of love and how that really looked, I think that there was a hidden space in there, and or we have conversations like this to whereas you're sending out into the world that for 70 years you never argued. I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not gonna. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Joe Keetra, your thoughts?
Well, Elam, yes, you're right. We were not with them, so we don't know. But what I do want to say, because I did agree with you when you sent it to me, but in talking to other people and in thinking, people define things differently. Their definition of an argument may be different from our definition of an argument, because people argue differently. Secondly, when you watch the video, she looked scared of him.
Oh my gosh.
So it may have
Wow.
been.
I thought she was smiling the whole time. So
that was one of
just
them.
not
That was
put
one of
on
them.
him as the aggressor.
That was one of those
No.
Derek Jackson, wife smiles.
Oh, wow.
Really? Okay. I didn't hear that from you. Okay.
But someone else brought out a
Wow.
good point too when this was discussed. They said that back then, the man really was viewed as the head of the household, and whatever he said goes. So maybe she just, was, what? I'm not working. He's bringing home, the money. He's the man. So whatever he says go. I'm not going to argue with it. That could have been it.
And you might be right.
I got you.
And then thirdly, he could have been putting it down so good to where she just could have been like, hey, whatever he
That's
likes,
real. That's real. Whatever. That's real.
I like.
I mean, that's
So
real.
that there could be a number of reasons, why there may not have been any arguments, and I don't like
70 years. Joe
But you
Keefe.
know
And they didn't
what?
argue.
Are you kidding me? That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes we gotta. I love my baby boomers, and I think Ashonda Davis has a good point. Is arguing and disagreeing different in your opinion? No, I'm gonna say argue. Like we mad. Okay? Are you saying? We won't even go with the disagreeing. Oh, you want black, I want blue. Okay, fine. That if they're gonna say they didn't do that, like just throw this whole conversation away, right? So I'm gonna say no. People mad. Right? You saying that you mad didn't happen in 36 million minutes. Like come on, people. Like there's some point where people just like this goes up in that box where people just like, all that you need in marriage is just trust God and love. No, that's not true. God even said, hey, faith without what? Work. So he like, yo, don't just believe in me. Like you got to do some what? Work. So come on. Like it sounds good. Just love and trust God. Like, no. And I think that there's.
Did Jesus argue?
Huh?
Did he argue with anyone?
Did he get mad? Let's do that. No.
Okay.
Did he get mad? Yes, he got mad.
Okay.
Yes, he got mad.
He got mad. But just because someone gets mad doesn't mean that they have to argue. They don't have to act on that frustration or that emotion. He turned over tables. Yes, he got mad. She didn't say she didn't get mad, because someone can get mad with their significant other and go into another room, then they can leave.
Yes.
They can do a number of things. So it doesn't mean that they have to actually argue.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I do agree with you. And I agree with you if Jokeetra, you and I were dating and, 3 months from now we were doing that. And last month we were doing that or whatever. 70 years, like 70 people. Like, come on.
Read the question from Thelma. Read the question.
It says, I can believe that if they learned how to communicate early, they can have a disagreement without an argument. And I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm torn. I'm gonna be honest with you.
So basically, okay. So watch this. Let's just go. We're gonna go. So that means they had no children, because up to 70% of arguments in a home can just be because of children. All of us are parents. We know what it is, right? Okay. So you're saying there's no children. Okay, why? Just walk with me for 1 second, Joe. You said there's no children, must not be none. Okay, there were no financial woes in 70 years, which we know can automatically tap the little button. Okay, y'all always wanted to eat the same things, go the same, your experiences were the same. Basically, you, Jesus, like sat on your couch and your bedroom and in your car. Y'all never went nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're saying that there's been no growth in 70 years, in my opinion, because growth equals change, change equals loss, loss equals pain. So growth equals pain. So you're saying that they didn't even grow for 70 years. They just stayed in the same space.
That's a long time. For 36 million minutes, that's a long time. But
Well,
what I
I'm going
will
to
say
come
is
back to
this.
that. But Mike, what were you
I
going to
think
say?
I think that there was a lot of compromise.
Okay.
I think that the times were different.
Hmm.
And I think they changed. You got this before internet and Facebook and all of that. And if I'm not mistaken, the couple was Caucasian, right, Elam?
No,
No, it's
They
a
were
black
black.
couple.
they were
Okay,
African
I didn't see
American.
it. Okay, so they black.
I didn't even do that one yet. I was just like, so you're married to a black woman for
Come
for
on now.
70
Don't
years. No,
don't do
no,
that.
no,
Don't do
no. I'm
that.
gonna do it. No, I'm gonna do it because
No,
it's
hold
real.
on. Let Mike
I'm gonna
finish.
do it because
Go
it's
ahead and
real.
finish,
70
Mike. Mike,
years. Come on,
Mike,
people.
finish, please.
You're gonna be married to
Okay,
a black
so
woman for
so
70
now,
years and you
okay,
ain't
now I'm
gonna get
leaning.
mad.
Now I'm
That's
leaning
not
70,
true.
70 years. Black. No, that's definitely hard to believe. With a black couple, especially going through turbulent times, in 70 years they went through some type of segregation. They went through some type of discrimination, and at some point somebody came home and was upset. It's how they handled it. It's hard to believe they did argue. I think they just out in front of a grocery store and they just didn't tell the truth. Or they forgot. They so old they forgot. Who knows? But 70 years with somebody, I cannot believe that they did not at least disagree several times. Go ahead with your question.
It's just real quick, and I'm glad that you even brought in the job thing. So you're saying his job was just super dope because all of us that's been out here working 15, 20, 30 years, we know that at some point, unfortunately, we bring our jobs home, right? Somebody gonna upset us or whatever. So you just, I mean, you got to add in kids, job, finances, society, and what it was going on through in 70 years. You're talking about, the transition from where we were from a slave time into a civil rights moment. You're saying that frustration never came in through the door. I mean, come on, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
Carl says, because will talk forever about that. Listen, Carl says
That hurt my feelings.
it's irresponsible for that boomer couple to say that without further explanation. They are given the benefit of the doubt as seasoned and experienced couple of 70 years. They should be more responsible with the benefits and difference. Okay, deference.
Deference.
Okay, they automatically receive in the love game.
Could not have said that any better. Could not have said. Thank you so much, Carl, because we have to respect them. We're of the era still that kind of respect our elders, right? So it's kind of like, it's back in the day when, like, you can't say that a grown person told a lie. Like, even though they lied, you can't say, oh, they weren't telling the truth. Look at the stuff that we grew up on, right? I can lie, you just can't call me out, right? But we all grew up on it. I get it, right? So we have to give that respect. And I would just say that there's a level of responsibility that comes with, like you said, the deference of, hey, listen, we're looking to you as a beacon. My parents just made 50 years last Thursday. So I respect the longevity of marriage, right? But I know they argued, right? But I'm just saying 70 years, people.
It's not.
You have. Let me just say this last. Let me just give me 10 seconds, Joker, here. I'm sorry. You have people that were probably sitting up there saying, "Wow, they went 70 years, and we haven't even gone 70 days. You know what? You must not be the person for me. I might need to, or 70 months or whatever. You might not be the person for me because we've argued in the past year. But these people went 70 years, so that's your fault. I don't need to be in it. Come on, man. We have to look at the responsibility of that."
Well, can I say this? because I
Yeah.
was married for 12 years and we probably only argued maybe 3 times, but that wasn't the person for me. So I think everybody's situation is different. I ask you about, did Jesus argue? So we don't know what their situation is. I think it's also unfortunate for us to say that they never argued and we weren't in their situation, because they could have had a beautiful relationship where there was no argument. There may have been a difference of opinion and the way that it was received or expressed, but they may not have argued in their opinion, because we might define arguments, differently. So why can't we celebrate the fact that they are saying that they didn't
Because that's
argue?
not true. And
Okay.
we just need to call it out. Okay. And just like Mike said,
No,
times are different. If you think you're going to go 70 years and not get mad, we won't even go with disagree, black and yellow. We won't even say, oh, you want to watch this television. No, mad.
well, we can't
You're
say
going to get
mad.
mad. No, no, no. You're going to get mad. The
We,
Bible even says, be angry, but sin not. So there's nothing wrong with being angry at somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. It's
but
how you make a move on that.
we're not talking about angry and mad. We're talking about them actually acting on that and arguing with one another, because we've already said that everyone will get mad, but some people can leave. Some people can go into another room. Some people can pray. Some people can get so mad that they cry, because I'm one that I'll get so mad that I'll cry. So I can't say anything. And then we used to tell our managers to take a walk around the building before you start arguing with someone. So people handle different things differently. So we don't know what his spirit was, what calmed him down. We don't know that.
Yeah, and I
And
agree
this
with
is
both
why.
of you to a degree. I'd agree with both of you. But this is what I understand in 70 years and married for 60. They had to grow at some point. And like you said, Elam, you either grow together or you grow apart. In some marriages, you grow apart. And at some point, you disagree. But because I think she came from a very submissive era, I can see her not arguing as much, but they had to have argued at some point. Otherwise, she is the most submissive black woman I've ever not met
I
ever.
need to stop with the black woman.
We're going to call it
Because
what
y'all
it
are
is.
so
We're gonna call it what it is. We're gonna call it what it is. We're gonna call it what it is. People don't. I love you. I love
we
my
love you.
sisters.
We
But if
love
you
you. We love
think that somebody's gonna go 70 years with the 2022 person, like, stop it. It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's actually okay, because disagreements, iron sharpens iron.
Iron.
I don't even want to look at it as nagging and you just being, just an, like an a-hole or whatever. Like, I'm not going to look at it from that space. I'm going to say that iron sharpening iron, meaning, sometimes you're going to get called out. Like, you're not doing the right thing, sir, ma'am. And so maybe he gives the feedback to her and she don't like it. She clap back. Now he get mad. Or in reverse, she gives him feedback. Hey, you might need to work on this. You might need to do, oh, you're not doing that right. And we could even take it back to the Malcolm X moment in the movie Malcolm X, when she just like, they were arguing for a moment and he was like, don't you raise your house. Don't you raise your voice or whatever. And what did she do? She came over and whispered and walked away. Oh, he was heated. She didn't yell in his ear. You know what I'm saying? But she dropped a nugget on him that was just like, you know what I'm saying? So come on, man. It's kind of like it's not always in a bad way if we're sharpening each other.
I got you. So
Right.
70 years. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Go
go ahead,
ahead.
Mike.
70 years makes it 1952. So what was the state of America? What was the state of Black America in 1952? Yeah, and she had to have something to say in 1952 as a sister. So that means she's an extraordinary. I got to give her credit. If they didn't argue, she's an extraordinary woman.
Thank you.
And he's an extraordinary.
Since none of us were born during that time, then we don't know.
And none of us know anybody who's ever gone 70, 60, 50, 40. Now we know 30-year couples at this point. Go to your 30-year couples and just see that. Just check in on your 30 years. See if you're gonna find one couple. Come back on here, share that with me. I will bow down. Okay. Until that happens, I can't roll with that.
Well, we'll pivot. I love that. I love the baby boomers. But we will pivot now.
Hey, Joe Keisha checking on her sweet potatoes. Look, go ahead, check on this. I'm sorry, Mike.
I am. The sweet
Did you see it?
potatoes. The sweet potatoes are done. And if
but
you
that
ever
is-
had them with, you can have you a sweet potato souffle if you like.
There you go, with a little cinnamon roll, with a little cinnamon and brown sugar
Marshmallows.
and marshmallows. All right, okay.
Yes.
Hey, that's good. That's good. At the top of the conversation, we were talking about women and their cooking. Elam, now that you're dating, is that essential for you? A
No,
woman that cooks.
no.
Joe Keitra, now that you're dating, is it essential that a man cooks for you as
No,
well as you cook for him?
I definitely would love to be the one to cook, but if he cooks, I appreciate it because, like one of the, I think it was Pumpkin said, it is sexy when a man cooks.
When a man cooks for you.
Now here's
Are
the thing.
there
I don't
any-
have a problem with. I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry. My question was: are there any other deal breakers? If that's not, if he can't cook at all and expects you to cook every night, Joe Keitra, or does she have to cook every night, Elam? Is that an everyday, every night thing?
Well, I grew up where my mom cooked every day, so I definitely don't have a problem with cooking every day.
All right, Elam, does she have to cook every night?
Absolutely not. I actually love cooking. I guess with my mom being a home ec teacher, there's a love that comes behind it. I'm the person that likes to cook and then I won't eat. I just sit there and watch everybody else eat. So that's how it was in my household. Probably of the 30 days, I probably got 25 of them. You know what I'm saying? And because I loved it. So it wasn't even like, that lack thereof on her side. It was something that I like to do.
Okay, now I'm old school from the South. We all grew up around what's called a kitchen table and dinner, and everybody had to sit down for dinner. Did you two grow up like that?
No.
I did. My brothers and I, we ate together every night. And so that actually trickled into my household as well. So what we did it would be normally between 7 and 7:30 when we would eat, and we would always watch Family Feud. So I'd say for a good decade plus, between 7 and 7:30, if you wanted to find any one of us, it would be at the kitchen table watching Family Feud.
I was about to say y'all was watching the Waltons.
No, and we would sit there, we would have fun with it, you know what I'm saying? And my brother actually told me this. He was just like, parents that sit with their children, they have higher self-esteem because you're sitting there and you're talking about yourselves as family and where you come from, so they more understand that aspect. Those children are smarter because you're bouncing ideas across the table as well. So those two aspects alone just gives a stronger family union. So yeah, if you wasn't at the table, you was getting snapped off on. It would have to be extenuating circumstances for somebody not to be there.
Okay, now Joe Keitra says she wasn't there, and my point is this: we're talking about the couple that was together for 70 years. If they came home every night, like you did, Elam, and sat at that table and discussed their differences, would that have helped the longevity of their marriage? Do you think because they came home and calmed down? Versus Joe Keitra, you say you did not grow up like that, correct?
Right, but my mom and dad were married for 50 some years. It was up until my dad left March of last year. So the only reason why we didn't was because my dad worked all the time. So he would come in from his 9 to 5, change, eat, and then go back out from his own business.
Okay.
So let me make an addendum to that, Mike. My dad, on average, might have been there maybe 20% of the time because he worked nights. So he didn't even start walking out the door until 5, 6 o'clock. But he was a maintenance manager, so the building was right next to our house. So sometimes he was able to go over there, get stuff started, then come back, eat, then go back. But then sometimes he would just stay over there. So I didn't grow up on 100% mom and dad at home, but I gave that to my kids. And it's nothing against, again, the same thing with you, Joe Keitra. Like, he was working. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got it. It wasn't like he wasn't trying to be there.
Okay, so now I love both of your answers. Your father, just like my father, all three of our fathers worked a couple of different jobs. Could that have held down Elam in this baby boomer conversation that we're having? Maybe that held down the argument because the wife said he's already working 2 jobs. He's already doing a lot of things. Did your mom and dad argue a lot, Joe Keitra or Elam? Or was it very seldom that you saw them disagree? Because maybe your mother understood that her husband had to be in a certain mindset to get this thing going, to keep things functioning, to keep the peace. Very seldom were they disagreeing. Is that the reason?
I will say this. There was a pocket of time where I might have saw a higher level of disagreement between my parents, and I
Okay.
think Mike, you might need to hit mute because it's making this noise, or somebody might need to hit mute. Y'all hear that
It's,
feedback?
it's, it's Mike.
There you go, Mike. Okay, perfect. All right, so there was a pocket of time maybe that I saw a level of disagreement, but on average, they did when it was time for them to argue, they went in the bedroom. You might hear, but it was that pocket of time that you might have heard, say, it was, ain't nobody, you ain't hear no swinging now, but you might have heard some stern.
You ain't hear no furniture moving.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was no
You
furniture moving or
ain't no
nothing like
cross
that.
this line.
Nah, none of that. You know what I'm saying? But you heard some strong mumbling, but you ain't hear no, what I'm saying, F you and no, I ain't never and all that. You ain't hear none of that. You know what I'm saying? I never heard my mother curse my father ever.
That's good.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I think couples definitely argue differently now than how our
Right.
parents may have argued. They definitely tried to shield it from the kids, from us. But we know that they definitely argue.
And that's
Hey,
the thing. It's actually okay. But go ahead.
yeah, absolutely. I thank you both for being absolutely honest. And it's just a different time. I'm with Elam. It's very hard to believe 70 years that just did not happen. But we'll pivot to something a little more light and fluffy. Did you guys get to see the BET Awards last night?
No, I missed it. I didn't find out about it until I heard it. Them talking about it on Steve Harvey. So was it a good show?
It was it was definitely different. I'm not accustomed to. I'm not
Ooh, I'm so
as versed with the newer generation of music. But the reason I asked the question is Puff Daddy received a Lifetime Achievement Award. Your professional opinion for both of you guys has been in the workforce a while. Do you think somebody that's still living and still active should get a Lifetime Achievement Award, Jokeetra?
Well, they do say give them their flowers while they're living. So I absolutely think that if someone is deserving of it, they should be honored and recognized for their achievements.
I
So,
got you. Lifetime Achievement Award. So during his acceptance speech, Kanye West came out. Babyface also recognized him, but he brought out several artists that he's had throughout his career. And it's kind of concerning. I saw Casey and JoJo. We saw the Locks. We saw Busta Rhymes. But Little Kim, somebody who's been with him a long time, has definitely altered her body.
oh wow, she's one of those.
Yeah.
So, but
That was
Puff Daddy has a stream of great entertainers. But you were going to talk about her altering her body.
Yes. So
Who you
Puff
talking
came
Is it
out.
that bad?
Yes.
He
Elam,
said,
and I'm
"Look,
gonna
Kim,
go. Little Kim has altered her body.
this is where we need a picture of her. This is where we need a picture of her. Insert picture of little Kim with the body alterations." Okay, Mike, where did she alter her body at? Can you kind of describe it for us?
Definitely in the hip area, and it looks like in the bottom as well, into buttocks. But they were bringing all the old school artists. They brought Shine back. He was good in one of Puffy's songs.
really?
Yes, Shine came and rapped during one of Puffy. He did like a review of all his hits. Everybody but Mace. I didn't see Mace. Mary J. Blige there. She looked great.
Where is
Yes,
Mace?
she does.
Yeah.
So Lil Kim, did Lil Kim
Casey
look
and-
good?
no, Lil Kim looks different.
Oh,
Yeah.
She should just be regular size Kim now with new hips and a new butt.
but I
And
thought y'all.
the
Look, so you
question I
guys
have
don't like
is,
all of that.
yeah, that's my question. Like, why do artists have to change?
I'm.
Well, it's not just artists.
Can I
They're
just?
not. It's
Go ahead.
not
Go
just
ahead.
artists. We saw on TikTok. You see where they talk about all these women
I
that are flying over and getting their bodies adjusted. So it's not just artists.
But here's my thing, and I'm gonna do an unshameless plug here. In my first book of Understanding a Man, I actually have a whole chapter dedicated to this, and that name of that chapter is "We didn't tell you to do none of that." right? And so in that chapter, what I did was I asked the men, how do they feel about, the fake? This is when the fake butts were really just popping off, the fake boobs, you know what I'm saying? And what I said was, barring any medical situation, because sometimes people have to make alterations for medical situations. Cool. So barring that, right? Like, how do you really feel about a woman and getting cosmetic pieces here and there? Like, it was 90% of the dudes, and you can go read the book. They say that they're just like, yo, I don't even like the way fake titties feel. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like they were saying this, right? Like fake butts, like they called the women lazy that go and buy butts for that. Like, go do some squats. You know what I'm saying? I'm just quoting what they were saying.
Well,
So, and then when we went to, the facial portion, right? And so we start talking about the cosmetic portion. Let me tell you something. 100% of them was just like it's different when you're just going to like a gala or something or whatever. But when this is your daily thing that you do, that's called a costume. That's called fake. And at the same time, you want me to walk up to you and be honest to you about who I am, how much I make, where I've been, what my background is, all this stuff. But what's made up in front of me is not even the real thing. Do you know how scary it is looking on Instagram right now? People can make complete transformations. They can go from just like what you might consider as not attractive to like, yo,
yes.
Contour is a beast. It's scary.
It's
So
sorcery.
It's a lot of videos on TikTok where they have women that start out looking like horrific and then end up looking like beauty queens. But I guess my question to you guys is, y'all say that, but you see a lot of men that gawk at women with the fake boobs and the fake butt, and all of that.
so glad you said that. And so that's what if I had to have a moment of helping you to understand this right here, this is what was stated. Yes, we will look because we are visual creatures. Please, Mike, tell me where I'm wrong here. We are
No, no, no.
visual
You're right.
creatures, right? But
Yeah.
who we will bring home to mama is not going to be that. That's not who we're going to bring home. We will hit it. We will date. You can be in the sections. You know what I'm saying? We might even bring you to a cookout here and there. Okay. But who we bring home to mama? Because mama going to call all that out and we don't want to deal with that. Okay. So no, that's not what
So
the men said.
what about fake hair and fake eyelashes and fake,
I'm
somebody said Jesus.
just
But
saying.
you can do that. We know you guys wear makeup, and I call it sorcery, and fake hair, and that's fine. But when you alter your body in
Come on,
such a
sir.
fashion that you don't even look like yourself anymore, like even K Michelle, we'll take it back. Singer K Michelle admitted that she had a fake booty, and then she took it off.
Hmm.
But
And
what Little Kim
she
has
looks
done to
Took it
beautiful.
off.
herself, she took it off.
She looks beautiful. K Michelle looks beautiful. She
K
didn't take it
Michelle
off.
looks amazing.
She took it
Whoa.
out.
I'm
She
glad she
took it
did
off,
that because it wasn't looking right. It didn't look right. And it
Yeah.
just
and that's how Little Kim looks now, like K Michelle used to look. And so she came out in an outfit that was so revealing last night. Like you could see the cameraman just pulling back. Like, oh my gosh. It was, and then
Was
she
he
turned around.
he was pulling back as in, look at this, she looked good, or
He was
I need to
pulling
get it
back
off.
as if I shouldn't be showing this. Let me pull back the camera and go to another shot.
I
You
didn't
you
watch
have to
it. I
you
don't I
gotta
don't
see.
I don't there's nothing
Well,
about
you
that. I'm glad that we're doing our thing. It's the ratchicity that has existed within that. I'm glad that we are, getting some paper in that space or whatever. It's just not for my taste.
Yeah.
the BT Awards will play about 100 more times, so I do
Yeah.
want to watch it so I can see what you're talking about. Because I can remember at a FAMU event, I remember my first time seeing Lil Kim when she came out, and I thought she was so beautiful.
Yes.
Everything
Yes.
just was so natural about her. She was petite, just this little tiny thing with a whole lot of, she could rap. But over the years, she has transformed into something, something, something,
Yeah, it's
something.
something different now. But that's okay. That's okay. You guys have to see it for
We
yourself. She
need to pour
definitely.
out a little water for Ashima, that's not here with us today. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pour a little water out. No liquor. We're gonna pour water out for you, Ashima. We don't know what happened to your phone.
Oh, listen, because
And if
Ashima would make us laugh off of the little
and
Kim.
here's the thing, if you could just cash app $3 to Ashima Franklin,
$ Ashima.
$Ashima Franklin. If you could just cash app that, I believe
I think I'm
that
gonna go
by
ahead and
next
cash
week,
app her. Let me cash app her.
um,
I'm gonna cash app her
I
$6.
just, I just, I just want to make sure that we are there for her. Shima, we thinking about you, honey.
That
I'm
is so
cash app
funny.
her.
Yeah, and apparently I need another phone. This is the new phone. This is a new phone.
Yeah, you was giving that,
I
that
just sent
feedback.
Ashima, like we all should send her $6. I just paid Ashima $6.
Did you really? I'm
I
about to
did.
send it to. I'm about to send it to her. Everybody, we need
Yeah.
y'all to tithe before we go. I know
Yes.
Mike. I
Wow.
don't know. I don't know, Mike. We about to wrap up, but
But
if we want to tithe
I
to
have a
Ashima,
question. I have a
look,
question I
she
want
start
to
getting all
ask.
these $6 touches. So please let her start getting all these $6. Look, I'm about to send it to her right
Well,
now.
what that look, that'll be $18. She'll be good.
Ah!
So let me ask you guys this because something came
Yes.
up. I want to ask this
Ah!
question, because we're talking about the Instagram and we're talking about the bodies, and I want, and I think I talked to Elam about it briefly. What do you consider thirst trapping on social media, as
Ooh.
far as women posting pictures in their social media page? What do you consider thirst trapping?
Thirst trapping.
Yeah, like if you went to my page, if you went to my Facebook page, would you consider my post thirst trapping or trying to flex?
No, if you got on like a lot of revealing clothes, you always move around, you dancing, you on your own vibe. That's cool. I don't think that's a thirst trap. I think that's just you in your zone. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Now, if you constantly posting half naked pictures, and then people just go into your page for the pictures, and that's all the content that you have. That's funny, Elam. And all the content that you have, then I think at that point you thirst trapping. If you're doing very
So
revealing stuff,
if a woman is always posting pictures in cat suits and tight clothes and her gym clothes and showing her body and then using scripture to post
It's
in
thirst
cat suits.
trapping. It's thirst
Okay.
trapping. And so, and I want to go ahead. So here's the thing, Ashima. Jesus, I said Ashima. Think about it. Joe
Keitra.
Keisha. So check this out. When you post, your stuff is tasteful, right? Even when you were like overseas
In
and you
Africa.
had, yeah, and you had like more revealing stuff on, it was like an ethnic thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you was getting your boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? You was getting your coming to America on. So I get that, and it was fine, right? But I think that there is a space because we are visual creatures that women, are some women, excuse me, some women are looking to attract, right? And their DMs blow up, right? And I
Hmm.
always
Mhm.
share with them like you can get hit at any given point, right? But it's like learning how to understand and keep that relationship going, making that right decision. But you just have to be cautious. Now, if you're just posting just because you're just out and about and you just cute or whatever, but we got people that are intentional, like, yeah, let me go and kill them real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
And I know
You
I
know what
make
I'm saying?
sure I never show my backside, because I don't like when women constantly show their backside, because I think that is going to get you a lot of attention.
Mhm.
Anybody, if they just show a picture of their backside, to me, that's kind of like you're asking for that type of
Well,
attention.
front side, back side. Let's not keep to just the one side. Some people just, I mean, it don't matter. Front side gets a view. Come on. This is
That's true.
summertime. I, you
That's
know,
true.
we will take a look. We will look. I think people confuse the fact of us looking with us collecting and making you a part of my legacy. That's different, right? I like to look at beautiful women. I don't know too many men that will say anything differently. I'm just saying it out loud, right? I love to
Right.
look at it. And even when you have the alterations, because my brain doesn't even register certain aspects of you, I might think it's real and it's not, whatever. So I get that, but I'm not gonna bring you home. And that's the
Right.
reason why that you have a lot of fine, blank women that are confused and they say things like, this is the phrase that kills me. Oh, she's pretty. I wonder why she's not married.
Well,
Because that's not it. It's
well,
not
hold
it.
on now. Wait, because I know I'm pretty and I'm not married, and that's not the reason why I'm not married. So watch out
But
now.
you was married. You was
No,
married
no,
before.
no, no. There's a decision that you no, but I'm not looking at it. This is not a moment where I'm like, oh, if you're not married, there's something wrong with you. I'm
Right, right,
saying
right.
the lead-in is because you are attractive and you might make this or that you should be automatically, like they say, scooped up, right? Somebody
Oh, okay.
come get you. And that's not it. Your insides have to match your outsides, right?
Right.
Right.
Your mouth has to be worth what that sits on. Don't think that's enough to make me want to wife you. It's not gonna happen. In 2022, we're a little bit smarter.
Just a
Right.
little.
Just a
Men are a
little.
little bit smarter.
It's
What's the
We will,
comment, right?
Mike. Come on,
We're a
Mike.
lot bit
the
smarter. But
comment.
what's the
The
comment?
comment.
We're a lot bit smarter. But what's
The
the comment
comment
right
from
there?
Carlos says there is nothing wrong with showing your natural beauties sometimes, but constantly is another story. Correct.
Ah. So he says if you constantly showing your ass, then that's a problem.
Well,
Occasionally is okay.
Enough said.
and I also think that because there are some people that post every day, and just selfies of themselves, every day.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And that's
Well, it
thirst
just
trapping. And that's
depends.
thirst trapping. If you're watch this. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. If your Instagram is the majority of selfies, what are you?
So that means I'm
Help-
thirst trapping
No,
too.
no, 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 no. No. I'm talking about you, Abby. Come on, man. You got your
You're doing
flyers going.
no,
You
no,
got
you're
digital.
doing
You're a
TikTok.
brand.
Yeah, you're doing
Right.
TikToks. You're promoting your
You're a
business.
brand. You're a
So
brand.
it's different.
I
But
got
I was just speaking in specific because there's a post with a page with a young lady that it is majority just her
And
talking
so, what do you
about.
think about those people, Joe Keisha?
I think that they have an issue.
Okay,
Okay.
it should be in
I
what?
mean, if you never see someone that's with other people, that's doing stuff, if they're not promoting a business, but if they're just posting, say, just so they can get attention, then I think that is thirst trapping.
I agree.
Okay.
I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I was
We're gonna get some
asking.
feedback. You're gonna get some feedback on that. They're gonna be like, that's what I want to show on my Instagram. It's my Instagram. I can show whatever I want. Okay.
And you can, and you
And you can.
you really can. I mean, because I think that that's what social media is. You're posting for someone to recognize you or to gain attention. So I'm not speaking in that light. I'm speaking in a different light. And
Okay.
you
So
can tell. You
what's
can
the okay
tell.
number? I'm sorry. What's the okay number to post, Joe Keitra? If you're a woman, what's the okay
Well,
number
I
of
don't,
selfies without
I don't
being
know.
across the line?
But they say that the studies say that if you want, depends on how
Studies.
you're using your social media. Are you using it to reach people? Do you have a business? Because they say that you should at least be posting up to 3 to 4 times a day if you do want to gain followers or if you want to promote your business.
Mhm.
So it just depends. But if you're just posting pictures talking about, hanging outside and not really doing anything, then that might be a little bit different than someone actually going somewhere. If I'm traveling and I'm going somewhere versus someone that's just finding a reason just to post something, just be posting it 3-4 times a day or 3-4 times a week without there being nothing behind it and no activity, then I think that's different.
Joe Keisha, I think that you should post about 3 times a day. The level of beauty that you possess just to show where you are. I think that not only would that, I mean, you have an amazing explosion of followers, but I think that it actually would bless people, just for you to just post just 2-3 times, just do 2 a day. Is that okay?
Okay, look, Elam is being nice. We need to shut this down for our computer. My computer is about to blow up.
That was a lightweight. That was a lightweight. Yeah, that was something.
That
I believe that one.
was.
Well, I started
Hey
off, I
man.
gave you a compliment. See what I'm saying? When I try to be nice, that's what I'm
Thank you,
saying, man.
Elam. Thank you, Elam.
Hey, Elam, we love
Carlos
you, brother.
said, He said, I want to be an influencer. Okay, sex sells. That's what I have to do, or so I'm told. Yes, Carlos. If you want to be an influencer, you definitely, sex does sell. That is proven. So that's what you need to do. Go ahead and post away,
and so in other words, in order to increase your followers, everybody just go thirst trap, and that's the Mike. So that answers your question. The thirst trap will increase. Okay. The thirst trap, and that's what I'm saying. No, I'm gonna go ahead and start talking. No, let me say something as I exit this moment right here. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna say this, that I think that there are people who have understood that, and you do a really good job of it. Right. But let's just understand. I'm not gonna call nobody out. There's some people who are really good at it. They kind of balance the sexy and the advertising. It's cool. That's why I think that what I'm thinking about doing is I think about doing the whole D'Angelo.
Don't do it.
Does it feel? Don't do it. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tighten up in about a month and a half.
Okay.
And I'm gonna come back on here. And I'm going to not come back on him. I'm gonna do I'm gonna start the D'Angelo challenge. Okay, because I think men need to start thirst trapping, because these women are out here, they're thirst trapping and they're getting ahead with it. And I think the men need to come. D'Angelo challenge. I'm putting out there. Mike, what you think, Mike?
Y'all have it. Y'all have the hoochie. It is the hoochie.
That's
the
disgusting.
No. That's y'all thirst trap right there.
Mike, we need to do the D'Angelo challenge. If you have if anybody out there listening right now, if you got the D'Angelo cuts, I am asking you. I want to rally around this, and I want us to just come together. We're gonna do D'Angelo thirst traps.
You heard it here.
Promote your business with your D'Angelo cuts. Come on, man.
Well, you heard it here first on the Help Me Understand podcast. We got a D'Angelo challenge in full effect. I'm calling all people from Mississippi, Atlanta.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay.
Let's get it popping. We want
30 seconds.
I think all the women would be here for it. I'm here for it. Type Mike, you in?
Hey, everybody not gonna be able to pull their shirt off next month.
So you need more than 30 days. You need 45 days.
I don't mind. I think it's a great idea.
Look at that, Rick Cotton, you in on it? I think Rick could be in 45 days.
Come on, Rick. Come on, Carlos. Who else is the men on here? Rick, Carlos, Carl, Willie, Brian Thomas. Let's see who else we got. Come on, gentlemen. We got to come together.
I think I speak for Ashima.
Sick of these women out here thirst trapping, and we not taking advantage of the thirst trap. We're going to do that. Mike, come on, man. All we got to do is do a medicine ball. The medicine ball. We got to just do a little medicine ball.
Do a D'Angelo challenge. We gonna look. Me and Ashima. We gonna do us a female challenge, because I know I can thirst trap. I can start thirst trapping. I can increase my followers.
I think that's going to increase the podcast followers as well. Hey, man, I'm sorry. Carlos got something right there. The last one.
I can do the Kanye with my mask on.
I got to go. I ain't messing with you no more.
We all got to go. Thirst Trap Challenge ends July 31st.
Yo, real. No. I like that. Thirst Trap Challenge for the summer. I like that.
Yes. Challenge ends July 31st. So Monday,
D'Angelo music and stuff. I'm sorry.
Monday, August 1st, we'll be doing the reveal. We'll be doing a grand reveal. August 1st, which is coincidentally my birthday. I don't mind taking my shirt off for my birthday.
You don't have to take your clothes off.
Hey man, we love and appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next Monday at 8:30. Joe Keitra, wave bye to the people. Elam, wave back. Keep your shirt on. Wave back. Elam, keep your shirt on and wave back.
You know what? I can say, Elam, I am so proud of you. Look, Elam did not turn up tonight. So the D'Angelo challenge needs to happen because he was on his best behavior.
How does it feel?
Some of us have farther to go than others to get to the I'm just saying, that's how you gonna thirst trap. It ain't gonna be thirsty for long. That's how we thirst.
I'm gonna set it off. Remember, I said it. Y'all think I'm playing? Okay,
On
watch.
Monday,
July
we should
31st is the cutoff date.
we should
Hey
put
man, we love and
D'Angelo's
appreciate y'all. We'll
face.
see y'all next
We
Monday.
should put D'Angelo's face up there for the next podcast.
Wah, 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 wah.
Okay, y'all have a good Monday.